Hi Sagittarius, welcome to your reading. If you're new to the channel, I do timeless readings, which means that whenever you find this reading is when you're meant to hear the messages within it. And in case you subscribe, I upload my new videos for Sagittarius and Gemini on Wednesdays. Also, the deck that I'm using today is called the Deviant Moon Tarot. And as always, if you guys are interested in getting a personal reading, the information is in the description below. So I do want to give you guys the heads up that sometimes the cards like to flip over in the deck, and I do see them. However, I really only take cards that jump out like these ones. Also, sometimes the cards will jump out in groups. They're a little bit too big, and I'll go ahead and put them back in and continue shuffling. But my goal here is to get you guys roughly 8 or 9 cards, and then we can get started on your reading. So, Sagittarius, I'm just going to try to pull out about 3 or 4 more cards, and then we can get started on your reading. All right, Sagittarius. So, I do want to let you guys know that in case you enjoy the reading, the best way of letting me know is by leaving a like or a comment. But your overall energy here is the 7 of Pentacles. Now, the 7 of Pentacles, to me, is a card about putting in work and getting out work, right? I like to think of it as sort of like an input versus output kind of an energy card. So, this, I believe she's a witch, has a tree here. And in order to continue giving, in this case, pentacles, but usually fruit, a tree needs to be properly watered, properly fed, and usually they can take care of themselves. But when they're saplings, you know, you have to take care of them and you have to put in a lot of work. And I think that as sort of this tree grows more, you know, this person obviously has to take care of it a little bit less because it's more capable of doing that itself. So your output gets a little bit bigger than it was in your input. And the importance of her sort of poking the tree and you seeing that blood running down is that she's seeing if she needs to put in more work into the situation, right? She's seeing what her progress is. So the reason I explain all of that is because I know that for you guys, this situation has to do a lot with your progress and how fast you're going through whatever it is that your particular goal is, right? So I think that whatever your goal is will obviously be different for everyone, but one of the sort of most popular ones that I'm hearing are sort of school, home, like your family and such, and work and career. I'm getting that a lot of you guys might be doing just personal pursuits as well. Like somebody out there is just like reading books. I'm getting that very clearly, that somebody is just like, they've given themselves this, I want to read books kind of a resolution, and they are reading books, and it's almost like people are kind of jealous, to be entirely honest. Because I'm seeing this 7 of Swords here. So it's almost like your progress, you might be accelerating too quickly for the comfort of other people. And, you know, this card is here to tell you, you don't have to dim your light so other people aren't uncomfortable. But I do want to get into this reading here. You have the Moon card and the Hermit in reverse. So, first of all, those are 2 major arcana, which feel very heavy and powerful in this reading. I want to point out that all 3 of the major arcana that you have do represent astrological signs as well. Not all of them do, but you have the moon, which is the card of Pisces. You have the hermit, which is the card of Virgo, and then you have the justice, which is the card of Libra. But like I was saying, with the moon card, the moon has a lot of energy that can be used and harnessed, right? And if you can see, like, this person and these two people have these sort of strings tied. I don't know if it's coming up in the video very well, but they have these strings that are coming from the moon. So they're being controlled by the moon. And I feel like people are more affected by the moon's cycle than they let on, or that they really recognize or know. So I think that that's something really important for you guys to look out for, is the literal cycle of the moon. But beyond that, I feel like people around you may be acting sort of like lunatics, which comes from the word moon, or, well, luna from Latin. But either way, like, it feels like people are being very exaggerated and very, like, over the top when it comes to you. It's like you could be completely perfect all the time, and then you mess up something, and suddenly it's the end of the world. And I think, again, that's coming, like, the moon card represents things that are coming out, coming to light, and illusions, because the moon doesn't actually create its own light. It reflects light from the sun. And that, to me, feels like it's taking credit for something, which ties back into the Seven of Swords. I feel like somebody's taking credit for the things that you do, or giving you credit for the bad things that they do, right? And this Hermit card, it's very interesting because I feel like when you have that, when you have the Hermit in the upright, it's representative of going deep within, very introspective, and sort of isolating yourself from the world. And this person, you can see that they're very afraid, almost covering themselves from the world, trying to escape. And that's why they've isolated themselves. But when they're in the reverse, it's the exact opposite, right? So they're coming back out into the world. They're now more powerful, more strong, more insightful, less afraid. And I feel like this is you in response to this energy. So things are coming out into light, and this card was never in the upright. Like, you guys were never afraid. It's just a matter of you're responding to it now. You know what it is. There was no way for you to deliver on something that you didn't know what it was. But now that you know, now that it's all out in the open and in the truth, like, you guys are able to act. And I don't want to get ahead of myself, but then you have the Justice card as well. But either way, you have the Seven of Swords and you have this Three of Pentacles. So the Seven of Swords is just a horrible, nasty, deplorable kind of a person, right? They're liars, cheaters, stealers, or I guess thieves, I should say. But this person is just the worst of the worst. And, this person is practicing sword swallowing. And that kind of gives me the impression of, like, illusions or, like, magician, but not in, like, the magician in the tarot kind of a way, in, like, the con artist kind of a way. So I feel like this person tries to perceive, or rather have people perceive them to be much, much higher than they actually are, much more powerful too. And they're pretending that they want to work together with you. So be aware that there might be sabotage somewhere here. So certainly be careful who you trust. And I feel like this person is lurking in the shadows. Like I said, this is very, like, the worst kind of a person. They're not the kind of person that'll be honest with you and upfront. This is a sneaky, lying, sort of snake kind of a person. And their justice is coming to them, right? You have the Justice card here. And, Lady Justice is going to come here and give you what you rightfully deserve and what they rightfully deserve. Because we all sort of have influence over what we get based on our actions, right? It's basic manifestation. What we put out into the world is what we get, right? And it was what I was talking about here with this input-output kind of a card. Like, from what I see, you guys are just working hard, trying to do your job, not trying to hurt anyone. And here comes this person, with all this malicious intent. And that's what they're putting out into the world. You're putting out this hard work, this wanting to progress, and that's what's coming to you because, that's what you're manifesting. You're manifesting higher levels of job, career, success, everything. And, this person's jealous. And you have the Queen of Swords. And what's very fascinating about the Queen of Swords is she has blood on her swords, right? And she's not like any other queen in that sense. The other queens don't really get into the fighting bits so much, but the Queen of Swords has seen the combat. You've fought for what you have. You've earned it. And I feel like that's what the difference between this person and this person is that even though this person has 7 swords, they haven't used them. They're just for decoration. They're just for show. Whereas you understand what the true power is of the sword. And it's very interesting because I'm seeing this 8 of Wands in reverse. So it's almost like this person doesn't want to talk to you. Like, this is the kind of person who will just kind of like hang their head in shame instead of actually confronting what they've done and said and apologized, right? But I feel like you're not concerned about that. Like, you couldn't care less about what this person does. You just want to do your job and, you know, work on your relationships, work on your love, work on your money, work on whatever it is that you have to work. It's almost like you have blinders on and you have nothing but success on your mind. Like, the name of the game here is success, and this person is just kind of getting in your way. And they're nothing than a minor nuisance. Like, they'll be gone sooner than later. Like, whatever this person is, like, I don't know what this person's damage is, but they just don't like you. I think they're just jealous. And I think, you know, this isn't the first time that this has happened to you. I think that you have sort of this recurring thing where people are kind of jealous because you sort of seem to be so good at what you do. And that's why you have the 6 of Cups. Yeah, because the 6 of Cups talks about, how should I say, nostalgia or childhood. So I feel like, well, the past is probably the best way of describing it. So I feel like you guys have sort of been here, done that, and maybe in the past when you were a little bit less evolved, a little bit less mature, you know, you would have fought this person and you would have gotten really down and dirty and just like insulted them and their family and whatever. But now you just don't care. You're more mature than in the past and you just want to get things done and you don't care, you know, who likes it and who doesn't. You know, you're not here to please anyone. So this is very admirable. This is very mature energy. You know, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just doing what you want. And I think it's going to serve you in the best, right? So just don't mind this person. Let them be their own downfall. And you just keep working hard because I see success on your horizon. But that was your reading first time around, Sagittarius. If you enjoyed, please leave a like or a comment because it really helps out the channel. And I personally really love to know if these readings resonate with you guys. But like I said before, I upload my new Sagittarius videos on Wednesdays. But in the meantime, you guys are more than welcome to watch any of my other timeless readings that I have up on the channel. And with that being said, I hope to see you guys next time for next reading.